everyone, welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the latest cues from the D-Street, starting from the benchmark index moves to sectoral action and all the stocks that are buzzing the most in trade. We'll also get you expert views to find out where exactly are the opportunities emerging for you as an investor in the current equity market setup. But first up, a quick check on how the markets are doing at this point in time. Well, the Nifty and the Sensex are, continuing to stride ahead in today's trading action. Another week has started on a positive note. When we look at the Nifty and the current levels right there, 18,610 currently on the Nifty right now with a 75 points of a gain. The Sensex also hovering about 300 points higher in trade at 62,841. What's really helping the index move higher? Clearly some of the sectors that are buzzing the most in trade, but let's first look at how the broader markets are doing at this point in time. They're also supporting the indices with about 0.3% higher move on both the mid cap and the small cap 100 index. Among the sectors, it's the Nifty Auto that's come in focus as it has touched record levels in today's trading action. Remember, we've been seeing continuously one after the other, all the sectors really reach to their levels, record high levels, and today it's the turn of Nifty Auto. 1.25% uptick, 14,568 the current levels for this index. We'll focus more on this space to find out where exactly are opportunities emerging for you. But FMCG stocks are sulking in trade today. We're also seeing the consumer space just about half odd percent higher in trade. Some of the other movers in today's trading action also include like realty, which is absolutely flat, although in today's trade. Let's look at some of the other sectors as well, where you are able to see some move. Metals are about 0.25% higher in today's trade. When we also talk about some of the other sectors, including healthcare, that's also flattish in trade, not too much of a momentum, just about 0.08% of a move on the upside. You're also seeing the PSU banks declining in trade, so it's the banks that are not really participating today. Let's also look at the private banks and the financial services. So it's the private banks that are outperforming the banking space in today's trade. 0.8% of an uptick for that one. PSU banks lagging behind. Financial services also, let's look at that one, about half odd percent of a gain. So it's the private banks that's definitely taking the lead from the three baskets in today's trade. But let's look at the top Nifty 50 gainers and see where are the stocks movement really coming in from. M&M, Tata Motors, clearly the auto stocks that are in the top 5 Nifty gainers. Axis Bank also is moving higher by about 2.5%. Grasim, L&T, Maruti Suzuki also inching towards that 10,000 mark at 9,615 in today's trade. ICICI Banks and Pharma, Adani Enterprises also up in today's trading action. Let's also look at the laggards, for example, in today's trade. It's Divis Laboratories that has again come under pressure. Asian Paints, Tech Mahindra, the other laggards in this point, about 1% odd or so of loss. BPCL, HUL, Hero Moto is seeing some profit booking at this level. In fact, also Nestle, Titan and Bharti Airtel, the other laggards, which are down by about half odd percent in trade today. But time to welcome our guest on the show. Nilesh Jain joins in from Centrum Broking. Welcome, Nilesh, and thank you so much for taking the time out for this discussion. Well, first up, I wanted to understand, looks like the party is continuing, to shine on as far as the D Street is concerned. No more Monday blues for sure. But where are the markets really headed? How do the markets look on the technical charts?
Very good afternoon, Sakshi. I think the party is not over yet. If you look at the Bank Nifty index, constantly it is hitting all-time highs. Nifty mid-cap index has all-time high levels. I think now it's time for the Nifty index to do the same, and it is less than 2% away from its previous all-time high mark of 18,887. So it's a matter of time before we see that Nifty surpasses those levels and move towards 19,000. We believe that in the June series itself, we may see the levels of 19,000. But overall, the interesting part is that whether this particular rally is sustainable or not, I think it is quite sustainable because the kind of buying that we are witnessing in the broader markets, that's quite amazing. If you look at the Nifty small cap index in last 2 months, we have seen a V-shaped recovery. So that is certainly giving some positive confidence. And looking at the overall stock specific action, I think this market looks like very sustainable at the high levels. And lastly, if you look at the volatility index India VIX, which is constantly on a declining trend, and it has reached its all-time lowest levels of 11. So watch out for India VIX. We might see some pullback, but it looks like it is giving some sort of a comfort to the bulls. So overall, in the global market as well, if you look at all the factors are turning positive for the Indian equity market. I think we are likely to see further high levels.
Okay, but the talking point today is definitely the Nifty Auto Index, like you also pointed out. I mean, it's racing ahead. It's hit record levels. It's crossed the 14,500 mark for the very first time. We've seen the monthly sales data just a few days back, and we've seen some strong numbers coming in from the cars, the two-wheeler space, albeit commercial vehicles were still lagging behind. But the Nifty Auto also has crossed this level for the very first time. We've also seen the Nifty Auto outperforming the Nifty also in the last month's trade. It was up about 9 odd percent, whereas the Nifty 50 was just about 3 odd percent higher. Your own sense of what is really fueling fire in these auto space stocks, and will it continue?
Absolutely, it looks like it will continue. Looking at the the waiting period in the booking of the cars, I think we are likely to see further good numbers from the Nifty Auto space. So overall, if you look at the Nifty Auto Index, which is trading in uncharted territory at all-time high levels of 14,565, so we saw a breakout at 13,500, and we remain bullish in the Nifty Auto Index for the further upside target of 14,800 to 15,000. And couple of stocks within this space that are looking very positive, starting with Mahindra and Mahindra. So usually we see in the monsoon, post-monsoon season, the tractor sales goes on a higher side. So this particular counter is looking positive for the upside target of 1450 positionally, and stop loss can be kept below 1350. Apart from that, Maruti is also looking positive, and now it looks like it will test the five-figure mark of 10,000. So watch out for Maruti as well. And lastly, Tata Motors, it has hit a 6-year high of 545 today, and it has also given a breakout on technical front from the pennant pattern. So the target comes around 600 sort of levels, which is its previous all-time high mark, which is likely to be. Overall, watch out for Nifty Auto Index, which is likely to lead this particular rally in the Nifty Index, which may test the previous all-time high.
Okay, understood that. What about the auto ancillary space? Is that also a space that you're watching out for in this current momentum that we are witnessing in the auto basket?
Absolutely. If you look at the tire stocks, we have seen a good amount of run up, similar run up to the Nifty Auto Index we have seen. Watch out for Apollo tires specifically. This particular counter has been in a secular uptrend in last couple of years, and now it is trading at all-time high levels. The structure looks very much strong, and this particular momentum may continue towards 420 to 450. Even if you look at the battery space, so that particular space is also looking positive. Amara Raja Battery, Exide Industries, both the counters on technical front seems to have bottomed out, and this particular momentum in Exide Industries is likely to continue towards 220 to 225. Stop loss can be placed below 205. So auto and auto ancillary, this particular space is looking very strong in the near term.
Okay, understood that as well. Now, apart from the auto basket, which are the other themes that you believe can continue to ride this bull run in the markets?
What we believe is that now we are likely to see a sectorial rotation.
Hmm.
So Nifty Auto Index, no doubt, has been one of the outperformer. Now it's time for the Nifty IT space and
Okay.
also Nifty reality space, which is buzzing since the last couple of weeks. So specifically, Nifty IT Index is looking positive for a pullback to continue towards 30,000 mark. Within this space, specifically, small cap ITs are looking positive. So watch out for Coforge, LTIM, and also KPIT and VSOP. So these are the few counters from IT space that are looking positive for a pullback to continue. And from the reality space, uh, we are having RBI policy going forward within this particular month. So we are expecting a status quo that will certainly benefit the reality space, specifically
Hmm.
counters properties, DLF. So these are the couple of counters that we are liking from this particular space. And lastly, Nifty Pharma Index is also looking positive. Sun Pharma, and Dr. Reddy, so and also Lupin. So these are the three counters that we are liking within that particular space.
Okay, okay, understood that. I also wanted to talk about the oil and gas space as well. Is that likely to be in focus amidst the current report about Saudi output cut going forward? There are reports saying that perhaps oil prices may again inch towards $100 a mark with this kind of a move coming in. If that happens, then how are we likely to see the impact of that in the Indian markets?
If oil again moves to 100 levels, that will certainly have a negative impact on OMC stocks and oil and gas. So,
Hmm.
we looking at the technical structure, we have already seen a good amount of run up in all the OMC stock. Now it seems like good time to book profit and exit long position. wait for further development on the technical structure. So as of now, we are avoiding counters like IGL, MGL, and we are advising to book profit in the counters like HCL and IOC. So that particular space, for the time being, it is better to avoid crude oil, Brent crude, which is currently trading at $77. We believe that there might be a possibility of a pullback. So that
Hmm.
pullback may extend towards to 85. So on immediate basis, I'm not expecting the levels of 100. But yes,
Okay.
if surpassing, then quite possible. But as of now, it looks little sideways.
Okay, understood as well. You know, one other stock that I wanted to understand from you is constantly, we've discussed this stock so many times, but constantly it keeps coming on my charts as well. As in when I see this ITC stock, you know, it has risen 67% in the last 1 year. What investors want to know is that will it continue its winning run going forward, or is it done and dusted for now? Because we've been seeing some dips here and there. How should one really take that preemptive action now to be, on the gaining stride of this stock as well? 441 currently, but your own thoughts?
We discussed this particular counter a lot many times, and
Yeah.
we been positive since a long time. So initially we were expecting target of 400, then we have revised target to 450 now. Now I think it has almost reached the levels of 450. The structure looks quite strong. So the first thing one should do is better to avoid taking any fresh long position at the higher levels. The kind of
Okay.
run up we have already seen, I think the risk and reward is not favorable at current level. So for fresh entry, I think one should wait for decline towards 420 to 400 sort of levels on the lower side. Positionally, our target continues to remain intact at 500, which
Okay.
we might see in the near term. And those who are already holding the long position can keep a trailing stop loss. But I think this particular momentum still looks very strong. And in next 2 to 3 months, probably we might see the levels of 480 to 500.
Got that. Well, thank you so much, Nilesh, for being with us on the show and discussing so many insights with us and all our viewers. At this point in time, where are the opportunities emerging? How should one trade the Nifty Auto at this point? And where are the stocks really looking positive amid this current bull run as well? Thanks a lot for sharing all these insights. Pleasure having you always with us on Business Today TV. The market's continuing to move up about 300 points higher now, 62,844 with about 18,611 kind of a level on the Nifty as well. So both these indices are almost up by half odd percent. We'll continue to wait and watch to find out what really happens in the last 2.5 hours of trade. Will we continue to see this momentum really build on from here, or will we see some signs of profits being taken off the table? Continue to watch this market space with us on Business Today TV. Don't go anywhere, and continue to subscribe to us and also engage with us on our other social media platforms as well. Until then, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, so it's interesting that we spoke about the metaverse and the multiverse in the last presentation. So